right, 450 race recap brought to you by our friends at Gutterworks. Always well hung, just like Justin Barsha. So getting into the 450s here.
Oh, boy.
Who you want to start with?
Well, Big Dick is back in town.
We might as well start with the winner, bro.
Yeah,
All right.
that's how we're doing this.
I mean,
right?
yeah, that's how we're doing it.
How'd you guys do it back in the day when people actually watched?
We
the
did
show?
it. We started from top.
Funny story that you say that. Cutting the sections and stuff here, it is
working.
Pulling almost about the same number of views total now. So
working.
We're right back in the realm now. Yeah, we were out for a while because of having just the long show, pulling the sections. Like the 450 recap got almost 1,000 views last week.
And I think some people are probably, if there's certain sections that we allude to in the cuts, and they don't get, they'll go and watch. They'll go and watch them. But you got to start with the winner, man.
All right. So
oh,
Cooper,
boy.
So
Big Dick's back in town.
These boys,
Cooper Webb,
2 points, boys, 2 fucking points.
So here is a thought I've had.
You've been thinking about Cooper a lot lately?
Mark this down for a short because this is going to be a short for you. Eli Tomac, Chase Sexton, Cooper Webb are the modern day Ricky Carmichael, JS7, and Chad Reed. Now listen to me.
Clearly, Eli's Ricky, Chase's Stu, and Coop's Chad.
Oh, you guys read this on Twitter earlier?
Well,
I have no
I
idea.
didn't read it on Twitter. I literally had this thought on my own.
I have no idea. But hey, it kind of. Well,
I mean,
Chase has got to win. Chase has got to win a title first.
Tell me it's not eerily similar. You have Eli, who is we'll call it savvy veteran here, but he's got all the titles, all the wins, all this shit. One of the greats, right? Then you've got Sexton, who's balls fucking fast but can't stay off the ground. Boom, there we are. And then you have Webb, who is much like Reed, who is not necessarily faster than them, but he's opportunistic.
And he's got the same amount of Supercross titles.
Just like last night. He was opportunistic. He stayed right there. He was not going to beat Chase if Chase didn't have that bobble. And if Harlan doesn't get in the way,
Eli too, though. I mean, if Eli wouldn't have gone down.
Yeah, I'm just saying. So it's like, so he's not beating either of those guys until they have problems like they do. And now, boom, here we are. He's 2 points out now?
2 points back.
So, yeah, I mean, it was a great ride by him. It is so funny to watch this guy literally all day not really have it.
He's been in the top 5 in
and
practice, which is
then
not
get to the
usually a
race
thing.
and just fucking is right there.
And his technique is not even close to the way Chad's was, but they operate eerily similar in the way that they approach races. Same thing. Not that big of a deal to be at the top of the board of practice. If they are, cool, great. If not, very, very dependent on how their chassis is feeling. Very smooth. They pick up on things from watching other guys, kind of like the comment that you guys made with Oakland. Like Coop watched Eli do what he did in their rhythm section, and Eli's like, Coop is like, if he can do that, then I think I can do this. And then he picks it up, he's comfortable with it, and then he just starts hammering it out the rest of the race.
Bingo.
Also, the line where he was going over, he was double and then table over.
Yeah.
So
that would be something like Chad would do.
So you didn't hear him because, again, Stubb doesn't listen to podcasts. He breaks it down. He explains it. He's like, well, I did that line because I know through the night guys are going to be back end brake sliding up that, and the lip is going to be taller. And then driving down is going to be a lot bumpier. So if I just jump over it, the couple tenths you're going to lose from the bumps and the single just being taller, I'm just going to have the same speed just by going over and doing the different line. Very interesting.
Yeah. So, like I said, he's right there in this title fight. We have, obviously, the top 3 are just separating themselves. I mean, they're like 30 points up on everybody else. But
well, let me point this out to you guys, too. After he got by Chase, Chase couldn't get him back.
No.
He had about 2, 3, 4 laps there, and Chase, being the balls out fast guy that he is, didn't really make much time on him. So I truly believe that Webb would have won that race regardless of Harlan.
You think so?
You guys agree?
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
He was a couple seconds back, and I didn't really think he was looking like he was gaining anything anywhere.
Yeah, but that's the way he always is until about 3, 4 laps left.
I think it's also wild, too, that because Ricky, and obviously a lot in the past year, but like Ricky and Stu have talked about this plenty of times back in the day, they were never worried about Chad as far as if they were feeling it that night because they just knew they were a notch and a half better speed-wise. But the problem they'd always said, and Ricky has said this a lot in the last few months, and they talked about this last night, that Chad was always going to be a problem because he was just going to be there. Like, he was just going to be there. If they were off, he was going to be there. And more than likely, if he was there and they were just off a little bit, he was going to beat them. very eerily similar of Coop's titles and the way it's going now. Coop has never been the fastest guy. But if you're having an off night where you're just off a tick, Coop's, other than last year, and that was abnormal and whatever, we knew he had a lot of shit going on, Coop is never, like, really off. I think the last time that I've actually seen, like, Coop super off was 2019 Detroit. When he was that was a bad night, but he ended up winning the last main.
Well, the biggest difference between Chad and Coop is Coop won his titles with the big dogs there.
He did.
Chad, as much of a badass as he is,
Yeah,
04 when he won that title, Ricky wasn't there.
Well, same thing in 08. Stu plastered himself in the ground at the beginning of the year because I actually think Stu that year was faster than he was the year before in 07. He just ragged his shit really badly. But yeah, I mean, I think that's a super good comparison. And
thank you. I really thought we were
I don't want to
argue.
give him a lot of
boy,
credit
here
though
we go.
because they were talking about this last night, like all
I saw it
day.
on Twitter.
Well, Ricky was talking about this literally the whole entire time on the broadcast. But no, it's very true, and it's going to be a problem because Coop is there and Coop's back.
Yeah.
We got 3 badass riders at the top of the points.
I mean, say it's great. I was
and
honestly
the season starts at Daytona, baby.
Season starts at Daytona.
I was a little sad last night when I thought Tomac was going to win that third one and win because I'm like, oh fuck, now we're getting into double digit.
So who got
lead.
second? Sexton?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Yep.
we'll get to Eli in a
So
second.
so Coop went 5-2-1 to win. Okay, and then
Keep in mind that 5 was him and Sexton were down at the beginning.
Yes.
and they were slicing
There's
through, man.
the
They
beauty
were.
of the Triple Crown right there.
And then Sexton goes 3-3-2 for second.
Loses the tiebreaker.
Yeah, so that first corner pile up, he got caught in there with Anderson. That kind of sucked. But man, did he cut through there? You are right. He
Yeah,
was on a fucking mission that first one.
He got to Barsha. I was like, and Barsha passed him back, and
Oh
he
yeah.
fucking gave
when him and Barsha got together there, I was like,
Yeah, but he stuffed it
But
in.
it was clean. Hey, it was clean though.
Yeah,
It was.
It was
It
clean.
was.
He ran it in, passed him, gone.
And I think Barsha was like, okay. Like,
you almost saw it was weird.
It was a
really
weird maturity moment
Yeah,
for
it was like
Barsha.
he almost like laid up the second time because he
and
was
I
like,
also
dude,
I had
he's-
no
he's
problem with
faster.
the way Barsha passed him back though.
No,
Like,
I didn't
he just
either.
ran him wide.
I didn't either.
And then Chase ran it in there, and I'm watching. I'm like, Barsha. He's apexing the corner, but he's leaving a lot of the door open. Chase ran it in there, made it stick, and then you're right. Like Barsha, you could almost see Barsha was like, fair play. All right, you're faster.
I'm
not
just gonna let you go.
I'm just gonna let you go. And you know what? Good on him though, because if he wanted to, I think he would have had to really bum rush that corner in the next section.
Yeah.
But he could have just slammed the shit
he
out of him, and
could've.
you're like, hey, you know what? So I'm glad Barsha didn't do that. I honestly believe coulda, woulda, shoulda. But if that first main would have been a normal main, Chase was slicing through the pack that he might have ran down Tomac.
High
I think he did.
probability.
I think Tomac wasn't feeling it last night, which we'll get to him in a second.
Yeah.
But
But do you guys agree with that?
yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
agree. Like Chase,
I mean, we don't know what happened at the end of the main.
again, man, how many times is he going to give one away?
Did you
Because-
listen to Stu's podcast this week?
Not yet.
Recapping Oakland?
Yes.
I honestly didn't even see
I
that
just
come
heard
on
him
my
say that
queue.
he loves everything about Oakland.
Well, anyway.
I don't know why the fuck.
So
like
he
Oakland.
said his analysis of the Chase crash in Oakland was that Chase, because you have to land obviously on the brakes to do that roller to then take that corner, that he stalled the bike, and that's why the bike did what it did. Because he came in, he stalled it when he let off, then the bike fired, which would make, listen to how this makes sense. So you land, you're on the brakes, right?
Yeah.
Mostly the rear because you don't want to lock up the front. Do that, boom, stalls the bike. As soon as that happens, you're like, oh, fuck. So he lets off, hits the gas to try to get it to roll through the pocket and like start up again, which it does. As he's hitting that gas to get it, boom, and that's why that bike shot out from underneath him.
Kinda. I think
maybe
To me, it makes
I'm not
sense.
going to argue with Stu, but like that. I mean, I
Stu
don't-
has stalled the bike a lot.
I know.
Stu has stalled the bike, and let's be real, dude. When you're on, I mean, fucking, this has been a thing with 4 strokes. Most of the time, you're already the clutch is disengaged half the time.
Yeah,
anyway,
so
decision.
I don't know. I'm just saying. It,
I mean,
it
maybe
does, it does
maybe.
make sense
you
because
have to block out the noise somehow.
Yeah.
and you'd really have to like. Somebody could do it. But
watching that crash or watching that though, it's
Maybe.
like, dude, what the fuck even happened?
If
Like,
that's
how
the
does that
case-
happen? And then when he says it, and you really start thinking about it, and you're like, okay, because the bike shot out from underneath him, and it's like, why the fuck does that?
if
happen?
that was the case, that would be the stupidest thing.
Well, here's where I'm at with
but
it.
but then we go back to last night.
Well, so last night, and then I'll finish it off and kind of segue into Eli because it's kind of connected. Chase last night, man. Like when that dude figures it out, I think these boys are in a little bit of trouble.
I think they're all.
Have you
fucked.
heard the stuff? Because again, I know he doesn't listen to all these podcasts like you and I do. Have you heard the stuff where there's the other teams are like, dude, if he gets 2 of these in a row, we're fucked.
Some of the other teams are
nervous
talking about it.
They're
but
nervous.
I would be too, man. It would turn into a Stu thing.
Yeah, it would.
It would turn into a Stu thing like 2.0.
It's going to be bad for him if he.
I mean, I'm not saying he's faster than Stu, but he has all the characteristics and he has better
fast,
technique.
yeah.
So
So when he gets this thing rolling, it's gonna be good.
and he's 22 years old.
That's the fucking crazy thing.
22, and now we're looking at an Eli. Here's another thing too. Outside of 2019, when he heat stroked himself to death in WW, or was that 2020?
Yeah, something like that.
Because he's still on
Whenever I
250s.
Yeah.
I made it though.
Great. Glad you could
Glad
stand there
you
all
could
day.
make it. Chase has never really had a big injury.
That's a big
So,
point
like,
too.
you're
The
looking
thing
at-
is that dude can bounce off the fucking ground too.
Well, it's all them roids. It's fucking
We'll get to
generous.
that.
But no, I mean, dude, if he figures that shit out, like boys are in trouble. They are in trouble.
You figure even if he goes through a normal career here, he's got 8 more years in this class.
Here's the thing too. I think he's
It's like fucking rubber band, man.
Yeah, so I think back to last week, and I heard somebody talk about it too, but I think he was just trusting the bike too much. And
Kind of like last night.
That last night he trusted that bike too much to go into that rut.
Yeah, which wasn't
But-
really there.
But we saw the same thing from Eli.
Yeah.
A very similar crash, and I think Eli was just like, I'm trusting this bike, trusting the dirt, and look what happened.
Does anybody
So-
think that they did something with that dirt though? Because everybody talked about how slick it was, and usually everybody's like,
No,
"Dude,
I
this place."
think
What
that
do you
was
do?
just-
You think they put lube in it? Or
I don't
something?
know.
I think that was just.
saying.
I think Ricky's right. I think that was just like that was
He's just
an
trusting the
abnormal
bike
thing.
too much.
Yeah.
Like, yep.
I mean, these guys are so good. It kind of goes back to same thing with the way Ricky was. You ever look at Ricky? His technique was not terrible, but he was so fucking strong and always trusted his bike. He literally thought he could do anything with that. And there's an interview, not verbatim, but I think it might have been Broom Tioga 04 or something. He makes a comment where he goes, I think I can do anything on this bike. Like he's always trusted. These guys are so good that their technique is so good. They're so talented. They're so strong. The bikes are so much better that I do think sometimes these guys think they can.
I think that's what happened with Eli last night. Eli was just, I guess we'll talk about Eli now, but I think he was just going through the motions like, this is what I did every single lap or whatever, and just that little bit of a miscue.
Side note, we got to talk about this because to me it's a big deal. Maybe not to you guys. Well,
Okay.
you not so much. and I talked about this, and I knew this was going to happen. Eli's in for outdoors.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
They fucking made race day live start with the 450.
Yeah, and then they,
class, just so they
I'm
could
really
make
glad
that.
though.
That's fucking pissed
I'm
me
really
off.
glad though
But
they
they
played
did
the A
show
group.
250A.
I was pissed. Look though, it's a big deal because we had been talking about this, and I had been on the train that he was not going to miss outdoors. Everybody's like, no, he's not doing it. And I'm like, look, man, if he comes in and he's leading, and now I made the comment that I thought he would have to win Supercross for him to do this, but he's the points leader. Eli's in for outdoors.
He's very comfy on that bike.
Look, dude, this. I know we're still into Supercross, and I'm all about it, but you guys know I'm an outdoor guy. Outdoors is going to be fucking intense now that Eli's in.
I
Eli,
am
Dylan, Chase, Jet.
super pumped because now
Gonna be good.
when Jet spanks everybody around here,
God
Yeah, you
damn
knew
it.
this was coming.
there's no excuses now.
You know that's not going to
There's
happen.
no,
man.
Whatever.
I'm with you. It's going to be really good. It's
Well-
going to be
Fucking out-
really good.
Are we in agreement though? That's a big deal.
Yeah.
He's in for outdoors. I mean, we all was after what happened last summer, but holy shit!
Everybody, including Jet, is pumped on it.
I think that they're not pumped on it. To be honest with you, and I think they're just telling everyone.
I
that
bet Chase is not pumped, to be honest with you, because he was like, "Ooh, here we go. I got nothing but the rookie kid to basically
The
worry
thing
about."
is, though, Eli last night, I don't think he had the speed to run with those boys last night, and he got forced. He had him. Those guys had him on the ropes, and he was forcing his hand in that last moto.
Yeah,
But I think
Because
outdoors.
I don't think he wanted to go and push that pace in that last.
No.
I think outdoors though is always been is always going to be a different thing for him on that, and I only say that because of what he did with Chase. I mean, what Millville, perfect example, 2 seconds a lap faster than. We're talking about. I'm just saying. I think that's a big deal that he's doing outdoors, and they're they talked about it now, dude. That just proves. I don't know if Eli's done. Like, I don't think he's done after this year.
I don't think so either. Did y'all see the controlled narrative though? Because Vital released that he was doing outdoors on Friday, and then they took it down.
Really?
Yeah, I saw a screenshot on Friday night on Facebook in a group I'm in that was a Vital talking about him doing it.
SMX was pissed because they wanted to drop
100%.
Actually, you know what? Now that you say that, that makes sense because Lewis Phillips was bringing this up. He talked about, I had seen somewhere that Eli was doing outdoors, and then all of a sudden it disappeared. And then, like, down the line, Michael Lindsay made a comment. He's like, boom, boom, or some shit. I don't know what he did, but I'm like, because I didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. I'm like, well, what do you mean it was up? And then
was Lewis posting in the forums or something?
I don't know.
Lewis
Somebody
Lewis is on the forums.
I'll try to go back and find it, but there was a Vital post
I haven't
from
been in the
someone
forums in a long time.
that was like Tomac in for outdoor. That's why the announcement didn't surprise me when they brought it up because
That's
otherwise
why I
I'd
was wondering why they were making such a big deal about it.
yeah.
I mean, dude, it's look. If he wins 2 more titles this year and then wins the SMX thing,
I'd be riding off into the sunset.
but that's the thing.
I don't think he's going to.
I don't think he's going to. And this
I
was
bet he-
totally
I bet
goes
he-
back to how good he's feeling. He loves riding. He's in a perfect spot.
I bet he rides Supercross minimal next year.
See, the thing though is we could say that, and then he just doesn't, and he just rides the whole season again.
I mean that could be a thing too. I think a lot of it too will have to do with how he feels after 31 fucking rounds of racing this year.
Well, he might drive a Porsche, but we'll never know.
But, yeah, man. But anyways, back to his race last night. I mean, we've talked about this. This is just where Eli is at his career. Like, if he's just not feeling it, like,
Yeah,
I mean, the first main was really good. Won that one.
ripped to start, though.
Yeah,
Gotta
his
start.
starts are good.
Got a clear track.
The second main, everybody in agreement that he laid up when Chase got to him.
Yep.
He was like, nope, I'm not going that fast, and just let him by.
And I don't think it would have mattered because Anderson was on one in that second
Yeah.
main, so...
Yeah,
And then-
well, in that third one, they had him on the ropes. Chase went down. Eli was like, he had that. He had it. And, I think maybe he just was too much in
Two
cruise
crashes
control,
for
maybe?
Eli. That's uncharacteristic this year.
It is.
It is.
But luckily for him, we're going to Daytona.
Yeah, which he made that comment last night too. He's like, "Yeah, I'm pumped because we're going to Daytona, and we all know I like that place."
Although last year, he even got that race kind of gifted to him. So,
We can't use that word.
oh, that's right. You earned
We're
it.
not allowed to use gifted.
You don't give gifts. You earn.
He earned that race last
You
year.
earned that race, and Coop's going, redemption.
But he had some employees helping him last
Yeah,
year.
Johnny Shanes was in the way.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. It's interesting to watch him though, kind of back it off, per se.
Yeah, because we
And
haven't
not
really seen
push
that
it.
Eli
No.
I like it, though.
ever.
Yeah.
I like it.
All right. So Ando goes 813.
Saw old Anderson for that second main.
Yeah.
Her second one, but man, he is just a click off.
He is.
And that's got to frustrate the fuck out of him.
So the Cowie boys got to him in all of 2 years here. It took, in a year. It took a year for Cowie to burn him out, right? Well, we're all in agreement
That's
of
kind of
that.
what I'm thinking.
I mean, that has to be what it is.
That's why I say
dude.
I don't think he rides
also
outdoors.
saw this too.
Oh, boy.
And I think this is going to have something to do with it.
Joey Savacci's going to be his teammate outdoors.
No.
Damn it!
All right. But Tom Jornet, boys, right?
Tommy Tenders, bro.
Tommy Tenders. Tommy Tenders is no longer Team Fried. He's not affiliated with it anymore, and I don't know if it's something between him and Jason or if he just has more opportunities making money doing something else.
He works
the
for Racer X.
Probably the latter.
Well, probably the latter, but I don't know if that affects Jason because Tom isn't around. He's not filming. They're not joking in between motos. He's not, doesn't have that vibe around there that he had.
Are you
last
sure he's
year.
not doing anything for Team Friday anymore?
He made a post the other day that was like, "I'm not affiliated with Team Fried anymore. Quit tagging me."
That's super interesting.
So I
Because,
think that-
he works for Racer X.
yeah, and then obviously a lot of other stuff that he has going on, but Jason's a guy that likes to have his people around him.
He likes
and,
his crew.
And
Yeah.
if Tommy Tenders ain't around filming and making the Team Pride videos and stuff, maybe he's that.
He's a media partner now, okay?
Well, that kind of gets pushed off to the side,
okay,
and now
yeah.
there's no fluff in between corporate and Tommy Tenders.
It's strictly business,
It's strictly business.
business all
Yeah.
the time, which we know is good
I
as
don't-
it. I still don't think Ando rides outdoors.
I don't think so either.
I'm standing behind this. I want him to see out. I want to see him outdoors.
I'm not sure we see him next year. I'm betting
You
he's
could be
off
right.
next year
You
and
could
he's
be
riding
right.
Triumph and come
You really could.
25.
I mean,
Yeah,
look,
I don't think he sits a year out, but
why not? He's having
I mean,
a kid.
he could just
He's
just
having
ride
a
off into the
kid. Who's he
sunset.
going to ride for?
you know what he's going to be doing? He's
'cause-
going to be building his real estate portfolio.
'Cause I'm
He
here to
has
tell you.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
He's got enough stuff set up outside of this deal. He could just be done.
Which
But
I
I don't-
fucking find hilarious that people don't realize. Like, everybody in the industry knows that that's like he has stuff going on. But I find it funny that people just think he's like a moron and he's. It's like, no, dude, he's an actual good businessman and he's going to be fine after racing is over.
But here's the
with.
thing: I don't think he's necessarily wants to be done riding a dirt bike. I think,
I don't think
like
so either.
last year he was having a ton of fun. I literally think this is a Kawasaki corporate thing. We've seen this with everyone. Villapoto, Stu,
Yeah.
Tomac.
Eli. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it
Ricky,
with literally
everybody.
everyone.
How about AC? What's
This
Yeah,
is part. This
let's-
is part of the thing with AC, where I
get
wish
to that.
AC would have not re-signed with them and would have gone somewhere else, because I think it would have made. It
Well,
would have been better.
I think they're forcing him back on the bike instead of healing,
yeah.
which we'll talk about. But
So we'll get to him after.
But Anderson, yeah, I mean, dude, that second main, 2022 Ando was back in that second main.
sick whip off the finish line.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Little dog
look,
pissa.
dude, when Ando is in his zone, he is such a fun dude to watch ride. And partly because, too, he rides a 450 unlike anybody else does. Like,
Yeah.
nobody really rides a 450 the way he does. So I just,
dude, that dude threw the whoops, just fucking hips back and forth, bulldogging through them thing.
yeah, he's not squeezing with his knees, bud. He's just,
He's just moving his hips.
I mean, dude, it's all muscle memory. He's just moving with the bike, and if it gets loose, and he brings it back. That's why I say, when Ando's in his zone, I love watching that dude ride, because he
Yeah.
just rides a 450 unlike 99% of the people in the world at his level do. And it's very interesting, because his game plan is so much different than anybody else's.
So, last thing on Anderson, do you think he runs it in a little harder on Coop if he's not on Probo?
Probably.
Probably.
Because I seen that, I'm like, oh, he could go up the inside.
I
He
also
backed
think
off.
I also think these dudes, even though Coop is not the takeout Barsha style,
Yeah.
I also think these dudes don't necessarily
Coop.
want to get into it with Coop,
Yeah.
because they know he's not as aggressive, but they know that he's a lot smarter than on the track.
Does he win a race this year?
Ando?
Yeah.
I think so. If he can find what he found in that second main, where he just gets a start, I totally agree, because that was 2022 Ando all day
Atlanta.
long. You think Atlanta?
Okay, maybe. I don't know. I'm just
I
asking.
mean, I
I'm up in the air. I'm 50-50 on it. I don't
think
know.
he could win Indy.
Maybe.
I think he could win Indy.
Going
That's
to Atlanta. Speedway.
hot Atlanta.
We'll see. So
Rutherford?
he went
I don't
8-1-3, by the way, for fourth. So Ken Roxon goes 2-6-4. Looked a lot better. Oh, we're hitting the panic button. Oh, we hit the panic button. His dad's back.
I don't care. He's just gonna blow that shit out the first day.
All right, that's enough.
No, and
Listen, I love Kenny, man, but I don't know
He's in the
if the
pooper zone.
self-training is working.
He looked good there.
look, Kenny's in the poopers.
What moto was it? The first one.
The first one when he
Well,
was
yeah,
good.
and then he had two more. Where's the fitness
yeah,
at?
he was good for the first one, and then he had to go back to the line 2 more times.
He
And
went
then
Just like
he went
last week, the
2-6-4.
heat race, and then he wasn't good anymore.
He went 2-6-4. Did you
the
guys
problem
hear,
though is that 6'4", okay, fine, but he was nowhere near the front.
Did you guys hear though that like the week at Tampa, he was testing till like I don't know whatever it was 8
Cooking
o'clock or
himself.
something on fucking Friday night before they went to the race.
I'm just at the point with Kenny that any information that comes out about him, of what he's doing with his program, what he's trying, what he's not trying, what he's trying to fix, what he's implementing, I don't care anymore, because we've literally been hearing this shit since 2018.
I mean,
And it is what it is now with him.
my real question
This
is
is who he is.
my real question is what did you feel on that bike when you rode it and decided to sign with them that you don't feel now? Because like, how did we go from
I'll tell you
rode
what it was.
and holy
I'll
shit,
tell you
this
what
is
it was.
awesome?
It was money. That's the only thing. Because, dude,
I guess.
I think that if he would have showed up on that Firepower Honda,
Yeah.
we would have.
That'd
We
be
would
a
be seeing a different
different
Kenny right now, but it was
Yeah.
money, which is actually look. Anybody go make your money, dude. Like, you've already made a lot. I will never say don't make more money in your life, but it's a little sad that at his point in his career, though, where he could have taken the money or taken to extend his legacy or what we talk about him, because we already revere Kenny and talk about his career, like what he's done, what he's been through. But I feel if he would have stayed on that Firepower Honda, I think that we'd be looking at a different Kenny right now.
Probably. Here's what I'm interested to see. Does he ride outdoors? Does he ride WSX? Where are
I
we
think it
going?
was both.
I think so too.
I think he dabbles in a little bit of both. And you know what they need? Put KYB on the bike.
Yeah.
I personally think he's going to get smoked outdoors.
I don't know. We'll see, man.
Because, dude, his whoop speed last night, we've been talking about this for a few rounds
yeah, it was
now.
not good.
Dude, Eli just walked away from it. Granted, he closed it back up on Eli, and we just said we don't think Eli was feeling it a lot last night. Every time you get to the whoops, dude, last year, let's be real, that was Kenny. Kenny goes around Eli every time.
Yeah, Kenny is usually a confident guy in the whoops. Like, look at him on that Firepower bike in
Yeah.
Bercy.
Holy shit. Yeah, and those whoops were some of the gnarliest whoops I think anybody's ever seen.
Especially in Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, dude, last night, just bad. I don't know, man.
It's really funny that
Just
we say
bad.
bad and he's fifth.
No,
But-
yeah, of
right.
course.
That's the
But
fucked up part of our sport.
Yeah.
Like,
But I think we all-
gave Kenny a run in that
two
first,
six,
or-
yeah, 264. He was given a run in the first Moto to Tomac, like giving him literally everything he wanted, and he's fifth overall. And we're like, yeah, it was a bad night for him.
and
He's
we're
not.
over here
He's
hitting the
not. He's
panic
not
button.
getting. He's not getting a win though, right?
I don't think so.
If
I
there's
don't
any
know,
track,
man.
is there? If there's any place that you think he could get one, do you guys have one in mind?
I don't know, man. In my opinion, the only way he gets one is if they really figure something out with that bike, and he is just so beyond comfortable. He's like on that Honda and Bercy. Outside of that, no.
Yeah, if something clicks on that bike, yes.
Yes.
For sure. But obviously, watching him ride, there's a lack of confidence there somewhere.
Yeah.
And, like you said, the self-train, self-fitness thing, if
Yeah.
he's smoked after a day of training, does he have somebody forcing him to go to the gym in the morning?
I don't know.
No.
Here's the other thing though too. Like I said, his dad's here. His dad comes every year, so
Doesn't make a difference.
He-
What's that mean? Like, hey, I'm doing shitty.
gets a little
Dad,
bump
come on in.
sometimes when dad shows up.
Because a couple of years ago, when he was in a rough spot, his dad showed up, and they hadn't really been on the same page for a while. And then his results got a little bit better, and then they just didn't.
Yeah,
I don't really think that makes a difference anymore.
AJ was talking in his podcast after the Oakland round about how
Arthur.
Yeah.
We'll talk about him in a little bit.
about
Did you see
how-
his start in the third main?
No,
He let the gate drop, let everybody get halfway down the start straight, then he went.
he was on my fantasy team.
his arms.
Oh, I
probably-
saw that, and I was like, yeah, I bet Travis picked him.
We got good points.
Anyways,
Anyway, moving on. So AP goes 6.55 for sixth. I mean, that's
Jay's
okay.
good.
Podium's Daytona.
That's okay.
I think so.
maybe.
I think he could.
I mean, he's froggy. That's for sure. So
He loves
so much
Daytona.
better.
Do
look,
it
dude,
for
he's
Dad.
just, he's just getting better. Look, he's
Yeet,
just
yeet.
getting better and better.
Yeah, like
I
I'm
like to see
okay with it.
I like AP.
Oh, here's a fun.
like the
here's a
trajectory.
here's a fun thing they were talking about on one of the shows I was listening to that we can kind of bring up here. So, the hell happens if Coop wins this title? Is
What do
he
you mean?
still going to Yamaha, or is
Oh, yeah.
KTM throwing bankrolls at him to keep him?
I think he goes.
He ain't being in the same truck as Chase.
No way in hell. No way in hell.
Okay, it's an interesting thought.
I
We'll
can't.
see.
I can't see him staying at KTM because I think he would probably want to leave, and I think that they're just going to be like, no.
Okay, I don't know.
I'm more interested to see what AP does if he resigns.
That's
or,
another thing too that
I
everybody's
do
talking
have
about.
a contact at KTM now. I'll ask him.
Seth Rarick.
No, it's a guy in North Carolina that's boys with him.
Oh,
That
with
would
AP
be
or Coop.
With Coop.
Oh,
Okay.
ask him about AP too.
AP stays.
I agree. I hope he does.
Okay, well, we'll see. And as long as we're on the Red Bull KTM, so Marv is officially out now for the rest of the season.
Yeah, dude, that's
Kind of a bummer.
God, dude. That
big bummer.
That hurt a little bit when I read that.
I got everybody still talking about retirement, and I'm like, has Marv said this yet? Because we did this last year. Oh, he's gonna retire.
I think Marv.
This
I think
one
Marv.
might though.
Maybe.
I think Marv is going World Supercross though.
that would not surprise
I think
me.
he finds a way.
I think he wants to. To be honest with you, I don't. It's not that I don't think he has anything against living in America. I mean, he's been here for a long time. I think he wants to go back home.
Oh, I could be too. I don't know.
I really do. I think he wants
Him
to
and
go
her
back home.
both.
I agree
Probably.
with that too.
You gotta.
I mean, they're having a kid. Their
You gotta
family's
realize
over there.
that they have a kid, parents, grandparents, family.
and also, he's been away from his brother for a long time as well.
Yeah.
So
All right, so Barsha's 7th with a 4.77.
You think he gets in the mix in that third main? He was coming.
Yeah, I mean, he looked good. I don't know.
He was swinging. He was
what was he swinging?
that hammer.
Oh my god.
Dude, it is insane though. We talk about this every time it's a contract year for him. It is insane how much more he gives a
His
shit.
performance comes up
It's
a couple of
just
steps.
insane, man. Because last year, like what, maybe 2 rounds?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, Barsha showed up. Now this is like what, 4 or 5 rounds now where he's just. Well, I mean, honestly, it's been since San Diego when he got on the box. Like, dude, he's kind of just been there.
Yeah.
I mean, I like it. I like when Barsha's in the mix. I don't like when he ruins races because he just
If he
forgets
floats
to turn his
around
brain
between
on.
7th and 3rd the rest of the year, I mean, that's all right, I guess.
I mean, he's just, well, let's be real. He's probably going to be a gas till he doesn't want to be anymore.
Here's the thing.
I wish they'd sign somebody else.
I was
Give
gonna
somebody
say,
else a fucking job.
Sign another 450 dude. For
The only
sure.
reason I want him out of gas is because I want them to go to 2 guys.
Where's he going to go though? That's
I mean, retire.
I don't want to see him retire.
Which I don't think he's got a bunch more years left. Because he talked about this on Jace's show. He's not a long-term guy.
What?
He's
yeah.
made a fuck ton of money though.
His he is going to be an interesting
Hmm.
person to see if he stays like social with the industry.
I think so.
What kind of person he's going to be, because once again,
Oh, no,
we know Barsha is a little
100% because he likes motorcycling.
his content.
Period.
I like his content already. His content when he retires is going to be fucking sick.
He's got a ton of shit he wants to do outside of racing motocross and supercross as far as on a motorcycle.
That's with BAM TV.
Yeah, so he's
kind of like a Ryan Sipes thing.
He's very pumped on it. Yes.
Oh, it's going to be sick because he is a guy that
Well, maybe that's where he goes with Gas Gas.
Yeah. I don't know.
You know, Gas Gas supported that with Sipes.
Yeah. So
I-
we'll see.
like I said, he might be a guy that when he retires, you get even more. And he also said this on Jason's podcast. He's like, yeah, maybe when I'm retired, I'll start talking about some stuff that like I can't really talk about right now. And I'm like,
Did you ever hear Jace talk about how he's got dudes that want to come on the show, but they won't do it until they retire because they want to talk about shit that they can't talk about?
I think there's an assload of them. But Barsha is somebody because he's been there, done that, and been on the biggest of teams.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
If there's stuff that he has in his back pocket that he wants to wait till he's retired, because I can't think of a situation outside of maybe something that happened when he left
if he wants a
Yamaha.
job in the industry, that's going to burn it.
But here's the thing: I don't think what I meant by stay in the industry is like keep making content on dirt bikes.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think he's going to go the RV route where he's going to be like an ambassador.
Yeah.
But if he's got some shit in his back pocket that like nobody knows about, I can't think of anything.
I can't think of anything either.
But then I go to, well, him and Honda didn't really leave on the great. So
Is anybody else surprised that Reed hasn't been more vocal about shit?
I don't know.
Is it because his kids are riding right now, so he's still trying to
Probably.
get
Probably
that?
still
But
wants
the thing
free
is, they
bikes.
went back to Australia.
probably
so-
still wants bikes for free.
So here's my
Yeah.
thing about Barsha. The only thing I bet he could talk about is obviously him and Eli not getting along in the Geico Honda days. So maybe there's some.
I
stuff in
bet
there.
he
know.
probably
I
didn't
bet
get along
there's-
with anybody on that team.
I bet
Yeah.
there's a lot more shit. I don't know. Anyway,
Either way,
I'm looking forward to it. I'm here for it.
I
am
liked
too.
I liked the cloudy lit kit. Looked like he had clouds on his gear.
Dude,
that was okay.
He's over.
Oh,
His
I
shit, I
liked
think
it.
I
most
wasn't
of
a
his
huge
shit always
fan of
looks
it.
good.
Who?
I think most of the time his
Most,
kits
of,
look
most
good.
of the time he looks pretty good.
Anybody like the FXR gear last night?
I do want to comment on J Mart's all blue bike.
I loved
Looks
it.
sick.
That's
I thought it
interesting
was
that they've
dope.
gone
We'll-
to that.
We'll talk about that.
They
I
do
thought
something
it,
different every time.
I thought it was sick. I like the purple FXR gear.
Because
Yeah.
there was a post on Facebook today in one of the groups talking about how ugly all the FX, or not all the FX, but the FXR gear was last night, and how much they must be paying these dudes to wear it. And I'm looking at it
the
going,
stuff Hicks was wearing and all that was ugly.
I was like,
but-
I didn't think it was that bad, but
anyway,
All right,
Barsha,
moving
last
on.
night.
Good.
Good thing you didn't die in the whoops.
Yeah.
That could have been a lot worse.
yeah. Moving on. So Craig, looking better here. 788 for 8th.
Froggy for a little bit in that first, man.
Yeah, top 5.
Yeah,
Yep, he
Froggy.
was. Yep.
What's Craig do with a start?
Big Christian Craig fans on this show.
Big Christian Craig. So, man, as big Christian Craig fans, I was watching the vlog the other day when Paige took the kids to a qualifier.
Oh, okay.
That was fucking hilarious. You guys need to keep doing what. I mean, I was laughing out. I was like, babe, hey, baby, get over here and watch this. This is
How
fucking
crazy
hilarious.
it is that, like, what is it? Because for me, it was probably around 2019, 2020, that, like, everybody was just dogging on any shit that they did. And now it's like, oh, okay.
She's hilarious. Her fucking, I've seen her on TikTok too.
Because I think, honestly,
She's funny.
Trendy.
I think a lot of people, there was a narrative around
trendy.
Paige for a long time.
Yeah.
And clearly that is not true at all, unless
Yeah.
they're just, she just turns it on, but we clearly know that's bullshit. So she is not that person. And I think there was just a big narrative that, like, Paige was just, I don't know. It's not true. They're good people. Everybody get off their ass.
Yeah, when
Because
they-
there's still those people that are like, whatever. It's like, fuck you guys. Like, they're just trying to live their life.
Quit fucking looking at me.
I didn't look at you. He was looking at you.
When they
But
were,
we know you have changed.
I have turned the corner.
Good.
When they were at the qualifier,
Quit fucking looking at me.
when they were at the qualifier, the camera guy asked her, like, so who are you more worried about this weekend? Are you worried about Jagger or Christian more? She goes, oh, definitely Christian. Always Christian. Jagger doesn't go fast enough to really hurt himself.
But
if he
Christian-
crashes. I'm
Christian
like, oh,
does.
God. Yeah. I was
Still,
like,
though,
oh, poor
those,
kid.
the whoops, though, man, still are just not there yet. Not yet.
I
There.
don't think that bike's ever gonna be good unless they start bracing the fuck out of that frame.
How crazy would it
Yeah.
be, though, and we've talked about this, if he goes outdoors and he's just top 5?
I mean, I think he could be.
No, I think he can, too, but the point is that we talk about with the bike.
Yeah.
If he just goes to outdoors and he's just top 5.
I wish I was on speaking terms with him, because I'd really like to ask him in a somewhat off-camera environment.
Non-formal matter.
Yeah, non-formal matter. Like, is this a little bit of a confidence issue? I think he's old enough that he would admit that if he was asked, you know.
Kind of has admitted it.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't really fully, he's taking a lot of it on the chin himself. Number one, I still think it's the bike. So part of the confidence matter may be in the bike, period. But number two, it might be a confidence matter of, do I belong here in this 450 class for Supercross or not? So, but he's getting better.
He is.
He's improving. Like, they're making strides now. So
I think Daytona might be a little
he was
rough.
up towards the top of the board in qualifying a little bit.
I think
too.
Daytona might be a little rough this weekend.
That I don't think that's going to be great.
Yeah, but no, he's getting better. And look, man, your first real time giving it a go in 450 Supercross, like, I know that some people had these crazy expectations, especially for A1.
Yep.
But, dude, just keep building, getting that bike better, and then we know outdoors, you know you belong up there. So
Yeah, 100%.
I think he's look. I think he's fine.
I think so too. So Justin Cooper goes 11.99 for ninth. I mean,
What you got, Cole? You're the J. Coop guy on the show now.
I thought he was going to do a little more with that start in the third main.
well, he's got one more.
Next weekend's the
yeah,
last
he was
round?
up front that third main. That's right. Because I looked, I was like, huh, wow, look
Yeah,
at that
he's
Cooper in
third.
like third or something.
He might be froggy this weekend.
Maybe it's the last
might
one.
be froggy.
It's the
This
last.
weekend.
I think it's
Shut
the last.
fuck up.
I think it's
He
the,
might be froggy.
Oh my god,
I'm gonna kick you right square in the jaw.
it's the last one for him, unless probably Dylan gets hurt again.
I don't think Dylan's coming back.
I
for
think
Supercross.
Dylan needs to just chill.
You don't think
until
so?
Outdoors. Chill until outdoors, Dylan.
I honestly think
I
he-
think that too.
I think he's looking at it and going, look, this summer is going to be crazy. I know that I can win outdoors. I have to be 100%. And maybe it's just me being a Dylan fan and hoping that, but I think that he's smart enough to realize, look, dude, I can't prove anything Supercross right now, and I need to be 100% for this outdoors.
I think we're gonna find out this weekend. If he's there this weekend, obviously we'll know.
I hope he's not. I really do.
I'll be surprised if he's not.
I
to be
love
honest
watching
with
Dylan
you.
ride, but I don't want to see him on Supercross track the rest of the year.
I don't think he puts out a Instagram post of him riding if he's not coming back.
Riding outdoors.
He was, but I mean,
He
been
just
off the
shows up
bike
to
for several
Daytona
No,
and
weeks.
he was kind of like, "Hey, bitches,
Yeah.
look what's going on when outdoors come."
He
don't
shows up to
know.
Daytona, gets on the box, and then just like crazy enough during the week, he just hurts his ankle. Sorry, guys, I'm out for the rest of Supercross.
Yeah, like I said, I would be highly surprised if we don't see him this weekend. So, all right. So Justin Hill goes 10, 11, 10.
Justin Hill is a good fucking rider.
Oh my God, here we go.
Hey,
Good
What do you got
fucking
to say
rider.
about that?
Good for him.
Hey, I do think it was cool that he's putting some effort back into it. This is Justin Hill, right? We're working backwards because
Yeah.
Josh Hill wasn't too far back either.
13th for
Okay.
Josh. Yep.
Not bad for a guy that
so-
doesn't train.
Justin,
Trains on the Suron all week.
yeah, whatever. I don't think you can.
No, I meant Josh.
you
Justin,
can't replace
I know,
time on a bike.
I know that Justin is putting in the work in the gym. Josh, I don't think is.
No, Justin. They talked about some of that Tedder was welding some shit into the frame
Yeah.
and all that kind of stuff, which is very interesting to me. And that I think it's cool he's talking about it.
Yeah.
But he was just like, dude, I think we're doing all right for being out of here for 2.5 years. Like now before we changed the frame last week, I didn't feel like pushing it. I got a job now. Like I got to do my job. I got a kid at home. Like he's matured, and they made the bike change. He actually got to put a full week on it with the frame and whatnot, and pulls a holy in the qualifier. Leads a couple laps in practice. Up in the top 10 on the board. In the top 10 in the race. Like, come on now. You gonna turn the corner or what?
Is that team going outdoors?
Who knows?
No, Josh Hill originally wasn't supposed to stick around the whole time, but he mentioned in an interview he's like,
I think he's doing
looks
too
like
good
I'm
to-
sticking around.
I think he's doing too good to not stick around. To be honest with
Dude,
you,
honestly, I'm kind of impressed with him.
but I'm just more looking as is Justin Hill going outdoors because that's
know.
interesting
We'll
to me.
see.
I think Josh Hill has too much other shit he wants to do. in the
No,
summertime.
Justin won't go outdoors. I don't think he said he was.
I just wondered if that team was going to go outdoors because there's been years in the past where they have, then there's years past that they've missed it for a few years.
I think they can turn that into a content team. And outdoors, just let them boys go do what they do.
Yeah.
Look, man, just show up in a couple rounds, bro. You know they do fine.
Dino is 11th with a 13, 10, 11.
Super bummed he's not in the top 10.
Dude, me too. Me too. Was he on your fantasy team?
Oh, of course, Diener the Wiener's on here.
Diener the Wiener.
I really thought he was going to get a big bump there with AC being out. I was like, oh, sweet. We're definitely in the
Little
top
frisky in
10.
qualifying.
Dude,
Yeah.
he was sixth at one point during qualifying. I was like, and then everybody else put a heater, and I was like, oh, he's 12.
Well, yeah, he did talk about too that he's really struggling with setting the bike up for the main when the track does get rougher.
Yes.
So once he figures that out, I think he'll be in the top 10. But damn, he wants in the top 10 bad.
So bad.
So
All right. So Benny goes 14, 13, 12 for 12th.
look,
Made it through all three mains, man.
good for fucking Benny.
Good for Benny the giraffe.
We definitely shit on him a lot on this show, but
He's had a few good weeks in a row here.
yes, let's keep it rolling. However, I will still keep him off my fantasy.
Oh,
Look,
team.
I don't
not
know
a
about you
chance.
guys, but I shit on Benny because that dude is so fucking talented and so fast that it's
Yeah.
insane that he cannot put
Yep.
a string of. Because if he could, we've all seen his speed when he wants to go fast. That he can do fine.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's like, dude, how do you? I don't get it.
I don't
Well,
get it
he's
either.
starting to put it together, and good
Yeah.
for him. That's all I can say, man.
Yeah,
Yep.
he's gonna go to Daytona, just not qualify now.
We already covered Josh Hill was 13th with a 12, 14, 14.
Oh, you're just gonna skip over the Hill brothers. You tried to skip over both of them, Dick.
I will say with
we
Josh.
literally talked about him with his brother.
The only
there.
thing
You
I'll
need to
say
come
about-
over the hill with them.
The only thing
Oh
I'll
my
say about
God.
Josh is I actually am super impressed. I shouldn't be because
I'm impressed.
I'm impressed that he's made as many mains as he had.
I'm
I
impressed
shouldn't
he's been
be.
in the top 15 as much as
That's what
he
I mean.
has.
None of us should be as talented as he is, but like last year he was in and out, in and out, in
Struggling
and
to
out.
make main.
But I don't think that he was into it as much last year. I think he was just kind of doing a bunch of different shit, and I think that you kind of see that he's like, oh, like I actually want to prove I could still make mains now.
I think a lot of it's having Justin around too.
Yeah.
I think that's a good thing for them boys to have each other. So
God, there's some weird fucking dudes though.
I think Josh is funny. He's got like a funny personality. This is another swap interview I watched him. This is why they're fresh in my brain. He's like, "Yeah, man, I I got tired in the first one. I blew my load early." That's what he said. Raw, I love it.
All right, moving
He
on.
blew his load raw. Good for him.
Yeah.
Wow. Colt Nichols, 14th with a 9, 16, 15. Didn't he crash?
In the
I saw him
whoops.
laying in the
Yeah.
Yeah, because Jet was commenting about it. Oh, Colt, buddy.
wolf. Oh, Colt, buddy.
Colt, buddy.
Shane Sins here, 16, 12, 13 for 15.
On my team.
Chiz pile drive.
Hang on.
Oh,
Back to Johnny Shane's. Did you see all the stuff that came out where he's like this super uppity spokesperson for Suzuki saying how great it was? Did you see all that?
no.
Shane was like, "Yeah, this bike's great. I can see why they haven't changed it in 10 years because why would you
Oh,
change
boy.
it? It's great."
Shane, stop
Oh,
it.
boy, let's
Just
calm her down.
Stop it.
Chiz pile drives himself in the whoops in the last one to go
Yeah,
17,
he's not
15,
liking the
19 for
Suzuki.
16. No.
No, he wants to be back
He
on
won't
that
come
Yamaha.
out and say it, but
He wants to be
That's-
back on his Yamaha.
Yeah, it's not going well. Grant Harlan fucks up the whole race, goes 19, 17, 16 for 17. I'm just kidding.
yeah.
That was a circumstance. Look, if Chiz doesn't pile drive himself, it doesn't cause all of that happened there. That was a circumstantial
was.
thing. Like, it was not really anybody's fault. Sexton, yes, upset. Harlan, yes, in the way, but it was just there was way too much shit going on there.
Agreed.
Kev, we already talked to him. He went 18, 21, 17 for 18th. That 21 was when his wheel broke. Just so
no
everybody
quads.
knows.
Track was good.
No quads. Track was good. Whoops were big. Josh Cartwright, who was also on my fantasy team, 20, 18, 18 for 19. Oh boy, here we go. Joey Savacci goes 15, DNS, and he's got a hurt something.
Wrist. Same thing as your boy.
No, he jammed it. It's not broken.
No. I'm saying like both wrists. Both
Well.
of them have wrist issues.
Well, fucking sucks.
God, that sucks for him, man.
One more for him before we start getting ready for outdoor or for World Supercross.
I
I
am-
bet he just parks it.
I'm bummed for him, man.
We'll see.
Well, or does he get the Kawasaki call? How long
I
is
don't
AC
know.
out?
Has anybody heard anything other than AC's wrist is fucked up?
I also like they were talking about that it was already an injured wrist, and I'm like, when the fuck did AC injure his wrist?
I don't
It's
know.
the one that's fucked up with the bone and the nerves are fucked up, and that's why his arm's going numb.
Dude, I'm just gonna.
It's
Did
all
he-
a connected thing.
Did he do something to it though?
I think
yesterday?
it was press day.
Fucker.
It was apparently it was on press day.
Okay. Anyway, I don't know. He jammed it or whatever, but a source. It was an injury that was old and didn't get the proper time to heal before he was thrown back on a bike, and it
Yeah.
was just snowballed into what we have today with nerve issues in the arm.
So how many rounds is he gonna miss now?
I don't know.
I'm telling you, if a press release comes out this week and says he's out till the end of Supercross,
Let me tell you this. I was so confused picking my fantasy team last night because I was like, where the fuck is AC?
Listen, it's a shitty situation for Joey because he might have had a shot at that.
Yeah.
Maybe depending on what AC's got going on, but yeah, either way, shitty deal for both of those guys. We can wrap it up with AC.
I don't know what. Dude, if a press release comes out this week and says, "Oh yeah, he's out to the end of Supercross," or he's like going to miss X amount of rounds, I don't know what you do with that.
I don't know either.
Like,
But
what
the thing is he's got another year on his contract.
dude,
I'm lost with it.
I'm
I'm on the Cooksey train. If he needs to go to like Puerto Rico or something and get some stem cell shit done that he can't get done in this country because you've tried everything that's here.
I just say this. I
Yeah,
know it was good to see him putting in all the laps and just making these races and realizing he doesn't need to try to win all the time. But dude, at some point, man, you got to just know when it's time to hang it up. Like,
Yeah.
this dude has been through too many fucking injuries, and at some point,
It's a fucking bummer, too.
it does.
Yeah.
It's gonna go down as one of, and it's not wasted because that
Very
is not
Reynardi.
very Trey Kennard, very Trey Kennard.
No, Robbie
Oh,
Reynard.
Reynard. Well, you could also say Trey Kennard because a lot of people don't think Trey. Anyways, I think he's got to give it up, man. I know he doesn't want to hear that, and I know he's probably heard it a lot, but I'm serious. He's got to give it up. Like the dude, he cannot stay healthy.
Yeah.
Fly to Costa Rica and let that be the last fucking thing that you try.
Yeah.
I don't think even that would work though, man. I think at some point, I don't
I don't know.
honestly
Stem
no doctor.
cells are a crazy thing, man.
But his shit is so fucked up.
Yeah, but stem cell, dude, I've heard of shit where stem cells have fixed fucking being paralyzed. So,
Yeah.
like, I don't know.
But I
I
also
don't
think
know.
those things that you hear about fixed being paralyzed, those people also probably don't ride dirt
Well,
bikes for a
yes,
living.
this is also true.
People also have a lot of money, probably.
Well, definitely
Yeah.
a lot more than AC does. But I definitely agree with what you're saying. There is a lot of things that there is not available to us in this country.
Yeah.
But I also, once again, believe those people also don't ride dirt bikes for a living.
Yeah, this is true. I don't know. We'll see. So Starling goes 22, 19, 20 for 21st, but he's real
He's
beat
hurting.
up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
beat up.
And then Carnell makes his first night show. Or
He still
first
exists?
main. Yeah. Makes his first
No,
main.
it's not really him, man. That's an OnlyFans.
Goes 21, 20, 21.
Listen, you see all the... I seen Clayson. Clayson has some fucking hot takes all the time, but he's like...
What's new?
Yeah, everybody's bandwagoning with certain sponsors in the industry and stuff like that. Because I seen a certain someone landed an OnlyFans sponsorship.
There is another. Yeah, who the hell is that? There is another person. who's
Yeah,
got
a guy
OnlyFans.
that doesn't even make night shows.
Who was it?
Jace Kessler.
No,
No, not
Oh.
Kessler. No, this was at. Who was it?
David Poley.
Oh yeah, that guy's irrelevant.
He has like actual OnlyFans or something.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
on. It's on his bike and his gear.
Yeah,
Weird.
I'm a fucking dick. People are gonna. That dude, I don't know what it is or how he's plugged in or whatever, but that
I mean, Daddy
dude.
probably got a lot of money.
Does he got a lot of money or something?
I'm gonna assume so. I mean, dude, they also.
I don't know, man, because I think he could literally come to Battle Creek Motorcycle Club and Lorenz and Dervage and all them would wax his ass.
I mean,
And
maybe.
Dervage hasn't ridden in 10 years.
I'm telling you, he's doing a shitty job of that Pulley last name because Dustin Pulley was actually a good rider, and you got David Pulley who's like there.
I don't know. I don't know if it's because he's got like a niche following on Instagram for
Does he
doing
really?
like helmet cam videos.
Oh yeah.
Oh, does he?
Well, I mean, dude, they did
I
that.
don't know. I've
Verb,
never
they
seen
did
it.
that
Yeah.
Verb Moto video on him last year. They followed him for a week at the test track.
See, that's the thing. He's
I'm like, what?
He's plugged in and making the right media moves and stuff like that. So maybe he's good with just like selling his analytics, you know?
Yeah, because he's definitely not doing off his results.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to look him up now
I mean, good for him.
and see.
I don't think he's made a main ever in his life.
Yeah.
He's never made a night show. The only night shows he's made is when not enough people show up.
I mean, like that one year during COVID cross where only like 33 people showed up.
Or like Oakland when not enough people showed up and he was going through the whoops about PW50 speed.
Yeah. I don't know. Anything else with 450s
God,
here?
I'm dogging. I guess we already touched on the AC thing.
Yeah.
But
That's just unfortunate, man.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know what you do with that.
I don't know either. So, all right, 450 wrap up brought to you by our friends at Gutterworks. Always well hung like Justin Barsha. We are going to take a break.